Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So I really want to focus on the Daryl spinoff here. Norman Reedus made some comments and whatnot regarding his spinoff. And I also kind of wanted to talk about, The Walking Dead as a whole, I guess, and just sort of what the last couple of years have kind of been like. And we're now going into this last stretch here for the main show, right? And it's gonna be pretty emotional. It's pretty unreal. Like honestly, it really feels like tomorrow, once like Tales of the Walking Dead airs on TV, we're immediately like in the Walking Dead zone. Like it honestly kind of feels like I can't really talk about the Walking Dead or be excited about it because Tales of the Walking Dead is on, and it feels like, I mean, they are promoting the Walking Dead final season. They are actually doing it online. Like you can see them doing it, but there's still Tales of the Walking Dead out there. So it kind of feels like there's not really any promotion for the Walking Dead because you have this other thing that you need to promote. Obviously, the show's still airing. Like it would honestly, and it would actually be really irresponsible of them to just kind of not promote that show and focus on the Walking Dead, because then you're going to be getting criticism for that, right? So it makes perfect sense to do it. I just wish that maybe they bounced it a little bit better, but I mean, I still think they're doing a really great job. To be honest, I still think they're doing a really great job, but we need those Walking Dead emojis on Twitter. Like, I love when we get those, and I'm hoping that we don't have to wait until The Walking Dead is on in like just literally 15 days. But that's right, The Walking Dead is returning in 15 days, where it's not next Sunday. It's literally not this weekend coming up, but it's the weekend after. Like, that's how soon it is. And so yeah, anyways, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get more Walking Dead content like this. I'll be having my reviews, trailer breakdowns, and all of that. Expect a big increase in Walking Dead content starting like literally today, because the last week I have been uploading, but definitely not as much. And that's really because my daughter started going back to school, and like I forgot how draining that was. Like it's definitely really tiring to have to manage a whole household all day. And so I did what I could for the most part. And honestly, I had time to do it. I was so tired, like having to watch two kids at home and manage all of that, going back to the school and whatnot. There was a lot of stuff like that, but honestly, it was just sort of an adjustment period. That's all. As of like Thursday or Friday, I would say, honestly, I kind of felt like today for sure, I feel very rejuvenated. And so I got a lot of stuff coming here. I was kind of waiting for this 2-week window here where I can start just hyping it up, posting a lot of stuff. And then just, once we watch that first episode, actually, we're going to be getting 2 episodes on October 2nd. Breaking those episodes down, talking about all of that throughout the next week. It's going to be pretty crazy because like, I'm pretty sure we're getting episodes 17 and 18 on October 2nd, which means that, the trailer breakdown video I do that night is going to be for episode 19, which is going to be the week later. And then, yeah, so episode 19 is on the 9th, and then 20th is October 16th, 21st is the 23rd, 22nd is October 30th, and then 2 more episodes, I guess, would be November 6th and November 13th. So technically on AMC Plus, the finale should be airing on November 13th, but I really feel like they're going to hold off. So I imagine we're going to have to wait an extra week there for that last episode. I don't see them airing the last episode a week before it airs on cable. Like, this is the one thing honestly, I think for the most part, people were kind of upset with AMC Plus because people were watching it a week early. I think people have adapted to it now. I first of all, I think AMC Plus should be available worldwide, because I think that's more the issue, right? If you're a Walking Dead fan online, I mean, I have a lot of people who watch my videos that are in Europe and elsewhere who can't get it and complain about it a lot, and they feel like they can't take part in all the online discussions unless they're just sort of, having to read the spoilers and stuff like that. So I think for just this one episode, honestly, it would be amazing if not one person, like not a single person watched it besides the people who made it, but like not a single person, not a single fan watched it before November 20th, and then we all watched it that night. It would just be such a night to remember. To be honest, like the last episode of The Walking Dead, sitting there in front of my TV, ready to watch it, and just, that's going to be a crazy moment. It's going to be like, I can't even, we're 2 months away from that, right? We're about 60 something days from there. So it's going to be emotional. It's going to be really nuts. But again, I'm going to be streaming that on Twitch as well. Like not the episode, but my reaction. I'll be doing a Q&A and all that. So you guys are going to see me watching it for the first time and stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. As I was saying, Norman Reedus did actually talk about the Walking Dead a little bit. So we'll talk about this a little bit. And then I do want to talk about some stuff regarding the Walking Dead and just sort of, the universe in general, and also just sort of the hard work that Gimple had to do, especially in 2020, to fix the Walking Dead universe and maintain everything, because, AMC announcing that the show was over seemed to really throw him off and throw the entire creative process just off. And so, there's that mixed with some of the Andrew Lincoln stuff, having to shift from movies to a television series. And yeah, we'll talk about that right after this. But Norman Reedus, and again, I'll leave a link down below to the article because there's obviously so much here. I haven't actually talked about this article here. I talked about the previous one, but with this one here, I haven't actually talked about it. But I'll leave a link down below if you want to check out the full thing. I only have a couple quotes here. There's a lot more there. But Norman Reedus said, these talks about the spinoff had been going on for 2 years. It was a good year before they announced that The Walking Dead was going to end. And over the course of time, it kind of changed directions multiple times. And so that right there really connects with what I wanted to talk about, regarding The Walking Dead ending and whatnot, and the craziness of Gimple's life over 2020 and 2021, man. Like, he knows the fans want more. He knows there's just huge excitement for the franchise, but obviously, The Walking Dead is ending and whatnot, and so everyone's sort of like, what the hell is going on? And from what I've gathered from all of the interviews and stuff that Entertainment Weekly has been posting and whatnot, like, no one really knew that it was ending, and it was sort of expected that it would last for several more years. And we kind of know the real reason for it ending now. It seems to be a streaming rights issue. It seems like AMC, they really want to own, the rights to The Walking Dead, to the show that they actually make, right? And not have Netflix always get the episodes. Because if you think about it, like, every episode that airs on AMC Plus eventually goes to Netflix and then it gets removed from AMC Plus, right? Which is really, really annoying. Like, I think if you're AMC and you're trying to start your own streaming service, like, The Walking Dead is one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name or franchise that they have for a television show. And Netflix has it all, right? Like, if you want to watch season 1 of The Walking Dead, people just go on Netflix now, right? So I think it's really big, ending The Walking Dead this year. I think Netflix will eventually get season 11, the whole series, or season, I mean. And then at some point, a year later, 2 years later, or whatever it's going to be. Like, that's the thing. I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take for them to get the rights back. Like, I'm looking at Marvel and sort of their deal with Netflix with the Marvel television shows like Daredevil and stuff. They kind of needed to end that in order to get those characters back to Marvel. And they've had the rights to make those shows for a couple of years now, right? So to me, it makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow The Walking Dead got renewed for like a season 12. And I'm saying like way in the future. Like, obviously this would be the ending, and this is me just entirely speculating, but it wouldn't be that shocking if, say, all the spinoffs end and they end their stories or whatever. But maybe they have season 12 of The Walking Dead, which maybe is only 8 seasons or something like that. But that's where you see all the characters reuniting together. And again, this is probably not even going to happen, but you would think from AMC's point of view that would be so smart, right? Because you actually own The Walking Dead, and so you can air all of that content on AMC Plus on your own streaming service instead of it going over to Netflix, right? But I guess they mostly want older seasons and stuff like that. They want that like replayability and whatnot to be on AMC Plus, because people usually watch the newer episodes anyways on AMC Plus as it is, right? So again, that's just me speculating. I'm not confirming anything. I don't want anyone to like go and run with that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just kind of saying, like, yeah, it's an option if they wanted to, obviously, but I think they probably shouldn't. And I think if anything, just sort of create a new show or have the characters going over to like the Rick and Michonne spinoff to sort of conclude all of it, right? And that really does seem to be the real reason here for ending the show. And so they really want The Walking Dead to be on AMC Plus. And so ending The Walking Dead was definitely a very smart thing to do. It's going to be a little weird, and I think the reason why you're sort of taking a chance with it is because of the spinoffs, and you want them to succeed, right? And I think that was sort of the issue with it. Like, you're going to end The Walking Dead, but people know to watch The Walking Dead. People don't know to watch the spinoffs, and so you're going to really have to market, the hell out of those shows. But that's why I think if you have The Walking Dead attached to its name, and I think that's why Isle of the Dead got renamed to The Walking Dead Dead City, it makes it a lot easier. And that's why, I go back to 2020, like that's when Gimple first found out about all this, Gimple and Angela Kang, and they had no idea what they were going to do because they had all these plans for the future. And remember the original plans, and that's when you go back to Norman Reedus' comments here. He said these talks about the spinoff had been going on for 2 years, right? And it was a good year before that it was announced The Walking Dead was ending that, they were talking about this spinoff. And now I remember those comments being made a long time ago. Like, that was sort of the thing. Like, they were going to have Daryl and Carol leave The Walking Dead for a bit and then come back. Like, The Walking Dead was just going to be this main show, this juggernaut that sort of just keeps airing and goes on and on and on. It's going to focus on different characters. It's going to keep that main story alive. But you're going to have some characters leave and come back, get their own spinoffs and whatnot. And I think that was the overall plan, but AMC just decided, no, we're going to end the show there and just have the characters go into spinoffs. And I honestly really prefer that idea. I think it's so much smarter. It's cleaner, I think, right? Like you have a little bit more like, I don't know, it builds a little bit more of a better reputation for your content that you have. The fact that you're ending this story as is. This is the Walking Dead story. This is going to be, it literally told the story of the comic. It's so perfect. End it there. Do other spinoffs and other stuff on top of it, right? I think it's definitely really smart. And so it's pretty crazy. In 2020, Gimple had to do so much. Because not only, was the Daryl spinoff going to be whatever it was going to be, they had to somehow sort of plan how they were going to do all of that, but also the Rick movie. And that was around the time when the Rick movie was changed into the television show that it now is, because it seems like they spent pretty much all of 2021 and maybe a little bit of 2020, figuring out how to do this. And so that's, when you look back on it, it made a lot of sense why we weren't getting any Rick Grimes movie news. Because Gimple was probably really stressed out and like, we got to figure all this stuff out here. Like, how are we going to do all of this? And I think he handled it really well because it was, they had all these plans and everything worked out for future seasons of The Walking Dead and things that they were going to do, for season 12, 13, 14, 15. And then just sort of how the characters would go in and out of their own spinoffs, go back in, movies, this and that. I think it actually worked out pretty well with how they're ending the story here and what they're going to do with these spinoffs. And obviously plans have changed, things have changed. But I think he worked it out overall really well. And honestly, I'm super happy for that. Because, the spinoffs are exciting. Like, the spinoffs are definitely very exciting. Would it be cool to have Rick come back to The Walking Dead? It would. But, like, the thing is like, again, I really feel like if AMC owned The Walking Dead exclusively, and it didn't go to Netflix, The Walking Dead would not be ending. Because then you would actually have all of these stories happen on The Walking Dead, right? It kind of works better as spinoffs because you can kind of focus more on those characters a little bit more. And I really do mean that. Like, I love, Eugene, Rosita, Ezekiel. I love all those characters so much. They're obviously a really big part of the Walking Dead family, but it's like the Walking Dead family is way too big now, right? Like, the Walking Dead family is massive. And obviously you can't just go and kill everyone off. You can kill off a lot of characters, but like, there's still going to be all those people there. And so how do you bring the story back to the way it was in the first couple of seasons? Well, you have a spinoff like this. And I think that's what's so exciting about the Rick and Michonne spinoff is it's literally going to be those two characters plus maybe a couple of other characters that they meet, right? And I think that's what's so appealing about it is that we're going to love those characters as much as we love the characters in Alexandria. And I think it's time. Honestly, I really think it's time to meet some new characters. I'm really excited. I'm just overall really excited. And so, yeah, I really wanted to kind of talk about just this in general, because it's kind of fascinating to see the process of all of this, right? The Daryl spinoff, obviously, I think there actually is a rumor, and I don't know where this came from, so don't take it as fact at all unless someone reported on it, but I've been seeing people talk about it in Discord, which was that the Daryl show is going to be filming in November. Regardless of that anyways, they are actually doing casting calls right now for the Daryl show, and Norman Reedus is in France right now. They're doing a lot of pre-production stuff, so it makes a lot of sense that show is actually going to be filming at some point in the next month or so. Doing it in November, I think makes a lot of sense. And honestly, one reason why they could be waiting to film really honestly could be for The Walking Dead to end. Like, that could be a big part of it, because honestly, if they're on set doing certain things, that could be really spoilery, right? And the Daryl show really is going to be focusing a lot on, I believe anyways, a lot of the Rick stuff and all of that. There's got to be a reason why he's in Europe, right? He doesn't even know. So I think that tells you that some sort of force or organization or someone basically brought him there and they know who he is, right? So to me, that's CRM, and I think Jadis was involved with that. Rick may even know of that. And honestly, that would be kind of cool if, like, in that first season of the Rick show, we even learned that, like, Rick finds out that Daryl was moved and taken to Europe, and it's sort of like, it's this big crazy moment. I think that'd be really cool to sort of connect the dots there. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below on what you think about all of this stuff here. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.